Hello everyone, and welcome to the 11th round of the Formula SimRacing 2014 Ace Championship. We are here at Suzuka in Japan, and what a place to be. I am joined again today by James Sadler. James, a warm welcome to you.
A warm welcome to you, Jeroen, and a warm welcome to everyone watching the broadcast. I just want to kick things off and say what a fantastic conversion John Eric Saxon, the FSR president, has done with this track. It's so crisp and clear, and it's arguably one of the best conversions for this Alpha Factor 2 series. And now we've got Mahan Patel finishing a lap. He does a 1:31.735. That's a great lap from Mahan Patel, with Shuri Toman 1/10 behind him.
Yeah, so as you, we're pretty much saying that Q1 has started with Patel in first position. Still 6.5 minutes left for Q1. A little bit of information about the track. It's a 5.8 kilometer track, which makes it a little bit of a long track. It has this 8 figure with the bridge going underneath the circuit really. Total of 17 turns. Very challenging first sector for the drivers, the famous S's. And we will see 32 laps here in the feature race. So, well, we're settled for a very good race. I mean, this is definitely one of the drivers' favorite tracks, wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, indeed. It is a fantastic drive. The sweeping turns in Sector 1, it's just a fantastic drive. It's a fantastic track to drive on. And it's definitely going to put tyre strategy and tyre wear very high. I think it's one of the highest tyre wear circuits, if I'm correct, because of all the sweeping long turns. Would you agree, Jeroen?
Yeah, I do think so. I mean, it definitely will be a little bit of a challenging race here for the drivers. You can push. This is something which is very good about this track as well. If you are really going to push very hard every single lap, the difference between pushing hard in a race and just taking it a bit more easy is quite big around this track. So obviously get the extra risk from pushing that you are going to spin out, especially in the challenging first sector. So yeah, this is a very demanding track for the drivers, and as you said, I think as well for the tires. But yeah, it's you need to find a good balance here, and I think the person who is going to find the best balance has a good shot at winning if he makes no mistakes.
Yeah, indeed, and we've just got Alvaro Torres popping up into second place. I know this is a Q1, but you know, he's only 6,000ths of a second, but he's still very close to Mahan Patel. But definitely the top four in fact, are looking very strong here, and it's definitely, well, we've said this plenty of times in Ace, but it's definitely got the making to be an exciting race.
Yes, indeed. So we have just over 4 minutes left in qualifying. Let's have a look at that 10th spot. Currently, who's in 10th spot is Liedner. But Liedner in 10th there with a 1:32.4. So times are very close, as you have said, indeed. And we're looking at Beda, who might improve as he's on loud lap. So that's not interesting. Savely is on a lap, I think. It does look like it, so let's have a look at Savely, what he can do here. First sector time is a 22.0, that is decent, I would say. That's not bad actually. He's looking for quite a good lap at the moment, so let's see if he can improve into that top 10, because the top 10 will advance to Q2, and so you want to be in that top 10 in order to really advance to Q2, obviously. So let's have a look. Thomas Savely heading down to the spoon corners. I mean, these two corners are just great. These two left-handers, as you said, it's so flowing around this track. It's unbelievable, really. So Thomas Savely now coming up to 1:30. Unfortunately, live timing is down as Patel went first with 31.4. He's flying at the moment. That's a great lap from Patel. Actually, this is very quick. And Savely, making a mistake in the final chicane. He's gonna have to start another lap. He has time left to do so, so that's gonna help him. And Jorik is still into the pits, Boschhoff, so I presume he will get out soon. Now what is Liedner doing? Liedner is about to start a lap. I think he cut the chicane. And what's he doing? He's standing. Oh, he goes back to the pit. Okay, very weird stuff from Liedner, to be honest. He just cut this chicane, hit the bollard, and then went back to the pits when he was about to start his lap. What is Beda doing? Beda is now the next one outside the top 10 to start his lap, but he is coming across the line with another twist car there, but the track should be clear now for Beta, so Beta is going on the lap now.
Yeah, well, I just want to go back to Patel and Conti. I think Twister are looking incredibly strong. I mean, a 131.483, what a fantastic lap that was from Patel and Conti. Only a couple of thousandths of a second off Patel's time, so Twister looking incredibly strong. So we're going to expect Chewy to pull something out the bag in Q2 and Alvaro Torres, because I know for a fact that Netrex are looking incredibly strong, and I'm pretty sure Alvaro Torres will be able to improve on that. But still, Norbert Liebner holds out in 10th place. Yorick still needs to find 3/10, but Daniel Bida and Yorick are so close together. So we're going to have to see if one of them two can pull each other up. But then you've also got Gobby and Sadler as well, all separate, all in a 132.7. So definitely it's anything to play for here in the top 10. If they can just find them 3/10 around the lap, they will get into Q2.
Yeah, indeed, just 5 thousandths of a second between Boschhoff and Beta. That's unbelievable, really, as Liedner seems to be starting a new lap right now. So I'll have a look at Boschhoff, who is out lap as well. Same for Beta, who made actually a mistake on his previous hot lap. So it's let's have a look at Liedner, if he can coming through the first couple of corners here. This is once again such a flowing first sector as he's heading for the S's right now. He flicks it left and then right, keeps it in 5th gear, I think flying through there really, down to 4th, and keeps it in 4th, I presume, for here. Now he goes back to 3rd actually, and then up to 4th. This is a very tricky corner here, he takes it full throttle. It's not really full throttle in the race, I think, unless you have a very stable rear end, but you also want to have a good front end, so it really is, once again, about balance. Which kind of balance are you going to pick? Heading to the hairpin, see how this goes. Pretty well, it's a very good exit as well. A little bit unstable on the exit, could have been a little bit better, but it wasn't bad. So we'll have a look at this first sector time, see if he's up. Yes, he is a 10th up on his own time, so Liedner is looking for an improvement as Yorick, I think, just started his lap, but we will have a look at Liedner, what he is going to do. Yorick is currently rounding up the first sector, so I'll have a look at his time as he comes through the first sector. But Liedner did a 42.5 middle sector. I think Liedner is looking for an improvement here as Yorick has done, that's not a great time from Yorick, I would say, in the first sector. Yorick is done. Yorick Boschhoff is indeed done. Don't know if he crashed, but he is out. And Liedner goes up to 5th position. Good lap from Liedner, wow. Very good lap. What about Beta now? Coming through the coming through the hairpin and heading now for Spoon. How is he looking, James? Do you have any information?
I'll just take a look for a minute.
Oh, and Beta goes off. That's it for Beta. Never mind. Beta is off at Spoon. He did it before. And he is off again. Let's have a look. Marconi is coming through the final chicane. Let's see if he can improve a little bit. Here he comes. No, he doesn't improve. 35.2. Marconi is in 19th position. And then we're waiting for Daisy. Is Daisy still on the lap? Did he make it to the finish line in time? I'm not entirely sure. I do think so. Oh, look at Daisy making the exact same mistake as Daniel Bida. Wow, this track might throw up a few surprises. It does. It has been doing so in real F1. In real F1. Maybe it will also do it here. Who knows? I mean, Liedner is in 6th. That's not that bad. And look at Daisy, backs off. So yeah, that is Q1 done then. So wow, go speed 11th and 12th. They probably could have improved a little bit also in 14th position. So we don't see a Go Speed car in the top 10. We see a lot of Twister cars in the top 10 though. Both Patel and Conti doing a 0.4, which is an amazing lap really. That's very quick. So Twister is looking very, very strong, in particular Patel and Conti.
Yeah, indeed. But let's just run through let's just run through who was fastest in Q1. So we got Mohamed Patel in first, Marco Conti in second. Then we've got Daniel Kiss in third and Shuri Tema in fourth, Alvaro Torres in fifth. But I just want to say what we were saying, but and what you said. But yeah, Twister are looking indeed very strong. And then we've go back to the grid. We've also got Norbert Lietner in 6th place, Renz Klopp in 7th, Rasmus Tully in 8th, Johnny Simon in 9th, and Prieto, we won't pronounce his first name this time, in 10th place. So that's a good number of Twister drivers, and it's definitely looking like a very tough top 10, and it'll just be the slimmest of margins to see who can get pole position here.
Yeah, so Q2 is already underway then, and the top 10, as I said in Q1, is only allowed to drive now. These drivers only have one shot at a hot lap, so we'll see how they do. Liedner is the guy here with the biggest balls at the moment, as he went out first, followed by Conti, and then it is Johnny Simon. And didn't Johnny Simon actually have a penalty?
Yeah, he's got a penalty. He's got a 5-place grid penalty. No, he hasn't.
Oh yeah, he has a 10-place grid.
Yeah, that's
it. Yeah, good point. Johnny Simon has a 10-place grid penalty. And talking about penalties, there are a few more drivers who are having penalties. As well, could we go on board with Liedner, please, Sam? Because he is the first one to start his lap. Daniel Kiss has a 5-place grid penalty, so that is one Twister car which might drop down a little bit and might open up a few opportunities for the opponents. Martin Hoder starts from the back of the grid. Nick Rowland starts from the back of the grid. Peter Helmbro starts from the back of the grid. Patrick Holzman is not driving, so that penalty doesn't count. And Danny van der Niet also starting from the back of the grid. And I think Marek Godek is starting from the back of the grid as well. So a lot of back of the grids, all thanks to corner cuts actually in qualifying. Anyway, enough about the penalties. Let's have a look at Liedner coming through the first sector. I mean, through this first sector you need such a great front end. It looks like Liedner's rear end is really planted as he is able to go full throttle through that corner there, which is corner 7. A very important corner as he now comes through these corners here, which are the Dagner corners. Up to the hairpin now. Looks pretty stable. It looks like he has a stable rear end, and that compromises his front end. I mean, especially in the S's, it didn't really look like the front end was that responsive in the way he really wanted to. So at least his rear end is good. Through Spoon, down to 3rd gear. Hit the apex early on for a little bit of oversteer there. Was able to correct it though, so no problems there. James, can you please have a look at the guys who are currently quick, so we can go on board with them after Liedner has finished his lap. So Liedner now coming through the final chicane, down in 2nd gear, doesn't use 1st gear. I think everyone will pretty much use the 2nd gear here. Early on the throttle as a stable exit. Wasn't the greatest lap, it was stable though. It was a 31.8, actually that is a very good lap. It looked very stable, not really that quick, but still a good lap.
Yeah, indeed. So we now got Mohammed Patel coming through the 130R, so he's now breaking down into 2nd gear. He takes the apex nicely and he's rounding out his lap. So what lap will Mohammed Patel do in this Q2 session? He's got his DRS open. What lap will it be? It's a 132.682 lap from Mohammed Patel.
Yeah, but not enough for a pole because Conti is on pole with 4 thousandths. Now Daniel comes across the line. Remember, he has a 5-place grid penalty. He does a 32.1 at the moment, and now it is waiting for Prieto, Alvaro Torres and Renz Klopp. Same for Tali, and actually Torres is the first one to complete his lap. So here comes Alvaro Torres. What can he do? He's actually starting his lap. Apologies for that. Oh, I cannot keep up, can I? So then it's now Renz Klopp. Yeah, Renz is definitely on the lap. Let's have a look at sector times 31.8 for a sector. That is quite good. For 42.5 mid sector. He's looking for low 32, high 31 probably. It all depends on his final sector. He does use his 1st gear in the final chicane, which is quite remarkable. Takes the short line for the run to the line. 32.1, indeed a low 32. He puts him up in 5th position in front of Daniel Kiss actually. So we're waiting for two more drivers. Alvaro Torres and Rasmus Stali are both still on a lap. Alvaro Torres, the Crown 7 Networks car, has done a 31.5 first sector, which means he's a 10th up on pole position at the moment. Marco Conti has done a 42.3 in the middle sector. Let's see what Torres' middle sector will be like, but a strong first sector from Torres is looking for pole at the moment. Swings it in, uses even second gear there, so yeah, quite long gear ratios for the Crown 7 Networks car there, or late gear ratios I should say, as the gear seems to be a little bit more coming into play a little bit later than usually. 42.6, he lost his time there, which he gained in the first sector. Oh, he lost actually 3/10 to Conti, and he makes a slight mistake. I think under braking there didn't look that well, that stable. He had a little bit of a rear lockup, maybe. Takes a short line and a 31 point. Well, it's actually a 32. Wow, lost a lot of time. Was looking for pole in the first sector.
Yeah, well, we've now got Rasmus Stali coming through the final corner. Let's see what lap he does, but he messed up in the middle sector. He just got oversteer on the curve. It's still a 132.668. So that puts him P10, and it's definitely a welcome return for Rasmus Stali. I think he's been doing iRacing, but definitely it's a welcome return for Rasmus Stali. But what a fantastic job from all the Twister drivers, with Marco Conti in first place, Mahani Patel in second. Then we've got Norbert Lietner doing an absolutely fantastic job to be in P3. Chewy Terman in fourth. Renz Klopp in fifth. Good job from him. Alvaro Torres in sixth. And then we've got Daniel Kiss in seventh, but he'll have a 5-place grid penalty, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah. And then we've also got Prieto in eighth. Johnny Simon in ninth. And Rasmus Stali rounding out the top 10. Can you take us through the rest of the grid, Jeroen?
For sure, we see Thomas Everly in 11th position, followed by his teammate Jorik Boshoff in 12th position. Daniel Albida puts himself up in 13th position. Maybe was a little bit more left in the back for him, as he made mistakes in Q1. Fabrizio Gobbi in 14th position, Alex Diaz in 15th, the Biocross positive SimRacing car. Then Valeriano in 16th, Slamajan in 17th, Chris de Jong starts from 18th position. Then we see Giuseppe Marconi, Renan Lopez, Luca Daisy in 21st, Nick Rowland in 22nd with a back of the grid, then even a neat back of the grid in 23rd, and Mauro Godek in 24th, rounding up our grid. So warm-up has started, and yeah, should give the drivers a little bit of a feel for the heavy fuel load.
Yeah, indeed. And I just want to point something out that's actually quite sad, and that's come about in FSR, is that Positive Sim Racing with Johnny Simon and Alex Diaz, they won't be, well, Positive Sim Racing won't be here for FSR next year. I believe they've been in it for 3 years, but sadly they won't be joining us for next season, so we, of course, we wish them all the best. But let's focus on this warm-up now. So as you said, the drivers have got 10 minutes to get a feel for the car with this heavy fuel load, and also with the drivers on their qualifying lap tyres. So it's just going to give us a little bit of an indication to see what these drivers can do with this heavy fuel load.
And let's have a look at the championship, because Tolman might as well win the championship. He's currently in first position, obviously, with 541 points, followed by Mohammed Patel, who has 458 points. So the difference is about 90 points, and I presume that Tolman will get the championship here, to be honest. There are 75 points, if I'm right, which you can get in total if you win both the feature race and the sprint race in a race weekend. So 75 points. I think if Tolman just does what he usually does, the championship will be his. So yeah, that's an update on the championship. But yeah, I think the championship was already decided a few races ago. I mean, let's be honest, Tolman has looked really quick over the course of this championship, but currently he finds himself in 4th position, and Liedner splitting him from the Twister. So indeed, Liedner having an awesome qualifying pace for sure. Let's see how his race pace, or what his race pace will be like. But Tolman always being the intelligent driver, always a person where you can look forward to in the race.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, but as we've said in other broadcasts, Jeroen is a fantastic driver. He's definitely delivered when he needed to. He's been composed, he's beat his opponents like Twister, and he's a well-deserved champion if he wins this A series. But like you said, it's pretty much wrapped up, but he's done a fantastic job so far for this season, and definitely he's got greater things coming with Precision Motorsports in the World Championship, and it's going to be nice to see Shuri in the World Championship.
Yeah, I think we have seen him before in the World Championship this season. I cannot remember it.
It was at
Hockenheim? Yeah. We've seen him driving in Hockenheim as well. I mean, it is World Championship material as he goes quickest with a 35.4. It is World Championship material because, well, he looks like an overall really great driver, in my opinion. And maybe I'm comparing wrong here, but you can somewhat compare it, I guess, to Alonso in real life. I mean, the package is there completely. The overall package is there. A very intelligent driver and also very quick, knows when to make the decisions, and those are usually the right decisions. So, and once again, I think really championship material.
Yeah, indeed, and I agree with you. He's got the complete package, just like Alonso. But definitely, he has got great things coming to him. He's been so good this season. But let's just focus back on the warm-up, and we're going to talk about Jeroen again, with him being in first place with a 1:35.81, which is fairly good race pace from the Precision Motorsports driver. And then we got Marco Conti in second place, and then we got Johnny Simon rocking up in third place. So everyone's looking pretty close in the warm-up. There's a couple of people that haven't set time, well, actually quite a lot of the grid that hasn't set a time yet, but definitely the qualifying was close, and definitely we're going to look and see that the race is close. But I'm just hoping, we said on every broadcast that I've commented on anyway, that we just hope that there won't be crashes like what we saw in Melbourne. It was pretty horrific, to be honest, and all the drivers had to DNF, but thankfully penalties were applied where necessary, and hopefully it prevents incidents happening in the first corner.
Yeah, it's never great to see these surprises, and every broadcast we talk about, so it's a bit stupid to really make a long story up again, in my opinion. I mean, we saw what happened in Australia: two race starts, two quite big collisions, especially in the feature race. But yeah, I guess this track, it is quite tight and narrow in these first two corners, but after that I think you pretty much settle into your position. Other than in Melbourne, where the walls are pretty close to the track, it can cause a chain reaction, which we saw indeed last week. So especially in the first sector, the walls are not close to the track at all, so the cars can fly off the track into the gravel trap, but they cannot return to the track usually. So I guess that could prevent some kind of chain reaction, which we have seen before. But yeah, I hope every driver keeps it cool, of course, as always, and after that just settle into your own race, and we'll see what everyone can do.
Yeah, indeed, and I think we said this before, but this track demands such a high concentration level because of all the sweeping corners, and it's so unforgiving. If you make one mistake, you will end up going into the gravel and then into the barrier. So you have to keep concentrating, keep calm, and I think no one else can do that better than Jeroen. But let's just not rule out Marco Conti. He's been right up there, as well as Johnny Simon and Daniel Kiss. They've all been up there, and I'm sure they're ready to pounce and try and take this victory in this feature race.
Yeah, so Tomlin is looking very good for race pace, which should be nice considering he starts from 4th position. So he needs to overtake a few guys, which is good from a spectator point of view, obviously. I do think he starts from a clean side of the grid, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, he starts from the Robert side, which should give him slightly a better start than everyone who's on the dirty side. It really does make a difference, and this slight difference can well have some kind of consequence in terms of track positioning. The run to the first corner is, well, I would say average. It's not really that long, not really that short, but after that it just goes right, and it tightens up a little bit more. So yeah, it's gonna be tricky for the drivers. You need good spatial awareness for sure, but I have trust in these drivers. They have done some clean starts before. They have done, of course, some well, worse starts before. But yeah, you've got to have trust in each other, and well, hopefully we will see a clean start here.
Yeah, indeed so. With 1.5 minutes to go, Jeroen in first place with this warm-up, and generally, I'm hoping for an exciting race. Definitely Ace has delivered in previous rounds, definitely like in Monza in the sprint race, but let's just see what these drivers can do.
Yeah, and we have 1 more minute left in this warm-up session, as I see Johnny Simon just flying off the track, really tried to enter the pit lane, and he actually crashed. So the pit lane seems to be a little bit tricky for some drivers. Conti has done a 34.8, that is quick, 6/10 quicker than Toman. Wow, that's quite a big difference. So Twister also looking good in terms of race pace now. Towards the end of the session they put in a stunning lap. So and here comes oh no, never mind. Okay, so well, we're set for the race now. How about strategy? Is it a 1-stop, a 2-stop? We see the medium and hard compound here, but yeah, what about the strategy?
Well, it depends on how close you are to the drivers, because I have to say, I think you'll agree with me, but the dirty air is pretty horrific here. I thought Silverstone was bad. This is pretty much on par with Silverstone. With all of them cars going through sector 1, the tyres are just going to get overheated, and they're just going to wear out more quickly. So with Conti starting in first position, and look at that warm-up time, he's done a 1:34.8. But I don't know whether the drivers have lowered their fuel and they may be trolling us, but if it is actual warm-up pace, then that's a great lap from Conti. But back to the tyres, I think you may be able to go a 1-stop if you're careful enough, but in my opinion I think a 2-stop will be the fastest, but it really does depend on how much you use them tyres going into them turns, because they are going to be overheated and they will lose grip. So what do you think, Jeroen?
Yeah, I do agree with you up to some extent, because I do think at this track there are quite a few straights, and if you just can get a good run on someone, you are looking good for an overtake. I believe there's only one DRS zone, but I do believe that DRS could be quite effective here, but we will all see during the race. The race is going to start now with the formation lap, of course, first. So we see some cars already lining up on the grid. One of them is Patel. So Patel starting from the dirty side of the grid in second place alongside his teammate Conti, and with the 5th place grid penalty, Daniel Kiss starts in 12th place, so pretty much in the middle of the field. And we'll see what he can do, as the formation lap should be on the way. Yeah, it's on the way now. So formation lap on the way, and drivers will try to get their tires up to temperature and the brakes once they have completed their lap.
Yeah, I just want to talk about strategy for 1 minute while we are on this formation lap. We've got Yorick Boshov, we've got Alex Diaz, Chris de Jong, and I believe that's it. And Danny Randoni, all on the harder compounds. So if they hold up enough people, they will definitely benefit themselves when they go onto the medium compound. But as the drivers are now going around and they're going to enter the first Degner, it's just going to be a really interesting race, and let's see what Conti can do with Conti and Patel locking out the front row. Let's see what they can do.
Indeed, so let's have a quick run through the grid, I guess. We see Marco Conti on pole position, then very strong driver, very strong lap from him, followed by Patel, currently second in the championship, looking very good as well around this track. Let's see if we can challenge Conti. Norbert Liedner, surprisingly in third position, But with all my respect, was a great lap from him, so good job to him. See what he can do in the race. Jeroen Toman in 4th position, Rens Klopp in 5th. Pro champion is doing a great job in ace after winning the sprint race in Melbourne and now starting from 5th position. He's looking really good. Alvaro Torres in 6th position with Prieto in 7th. Also a great qualifying from him. Ross Mustali in 8th, Thomas Savely in 9th, Jorik Boshoff in 10th. And well, would you like to continue?
Yeah, I can. So we've got Daniel Bieder in 11th place, Daniel Kiss with his 5th place grid penalty in 12th, Fabrizio Gobbi in 13th, Alex Diaz in 14th, Shinodo Valeriano in 15th, Artem Azerbaijani in 16th, Chris de Jong in 17th, Giuseppe Marconi in 18th, Johnny Simon in 19th place, Renan Lopez in 20th, Luca Dacey in 21st, Martin Herdas. I believe he's the first one of the back of the grids, if I'm correct. I may be wrong, but...
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got Martin Herdas in 22nd, Daniel Anthony in 23rd, Marek Godak in 24th, and Nick Rowland rounds out this 25-car grid. And Jeroen, would you like to take us through the start?
For sure, Marco Conti is already in his grid slot. The heartbeat is rising for him right now as he waits for Nick Rowland, the final or the last guy on the grid, to put himself into his grid slot. And now it's waiting for the lights, and then the 11th round of the Formula SimRacing Ace Championship will be on the way around Suzuka. So we're looking for a great race here. Guys, keep it clean. Here we go then. So the lights are coming on. We see 5 lights, and they are out right now, green light, so here we go. Oh, Patel having a great start. Actually, Patel is going to jump Conti. I think he's down the inside already for the first corner. Here we go. Patel indeed on the inside. Patel takes the lead straight away, starting from the dirty side. A great start by Patel, who gets the lead from Conti. Norbert Lieners and Jerry Toman being challenged by
there's a huge crash. Sorry to interrupt you. There is a huge crash. Cars flipping over. This is huge. I think I'll just take a look, but I think it was like Bieder who spun, and then a whole, like you said, we were going before, a whole chain reaction of drivers got involved.
Wow, okay. Well, thanks for that report, and we'll get some more information on that. Rens Klopp, meanwhile, has moved himself up to 4th position. Great start from Rens. Same for Patel, as Thierry Toman now finds himself in 5th position. He's gonna have to challenge the field now and come back through the field. Something we haven't seen him really doing, I think, this season. So let's see what Thierry Toman now can do. Rasmus Stali is still in 7th, Savely in 8th, and Daniel Kiss in 10th. So he made up 2 places. And Jorik is out, I think. Jorik is in 17th. Must have happened something with him and C1 in 18th. And we have 2 retirements, Chris de Jong and Daniel Bieder, and now as well Marek Godak.
I don't think Jorik's out. I think he's still driving.
Yeah, he is still driving, but he was definitely in some kind of incident.
Well, he didn't really. I think there was a little bit of contact. I don't think he's got too much damage, but anyway, Mahan Patel leading the way in 1st place with Marco Conti in 2nd, Norbert Lientner in 3rd, Rens Klopp in 4th, doing a great job. Thierry Toman, he needs to get past Rens and Norbert to get as much points as he can. So now we've got Alvaro Torres in 6th, Rasmus Tali, he's jumped up from 10th in 7th place, and then we've got Thomas Sadler up in 8th from outside the top 10. Then we've got Daniel Kiss, he's advanced really well. I think he started 13th, if I'm right.
Yeah, 12, I think.
Okay.
He just overtook Prieto around the outside of the first corner, so he is doing good.
Well, he's doing a great job anyway, and Prieto, as you said, Daniel Kiss overtook him, but Prieto rounds out the top 10.
Yeah, actually, I don't think he really overtook him. It was just more or less a defending move. I think Prieto had a good run out of the final chicane. That was on the inside, but Daniel Kiss could still keep that place around the outside. So the field is now settling down, and we see Patel creating a gap to his teammate Marco Conti of a second already. Let's see if he can still increase that gap in order to keep Conti out of his DRS range, or the DRS zone. And Prieto is looking really good. He's behind Daniel Kiss, and he's currently very close behind him actually, as Valeriano is in the pit. Same for, let's have a look. No, Valeriano is actually the only one who went into the pits. I got a little bit confused with the guys who are already retired. And don't see much side-by-side action at the moment. We just see, Daniel Kiss having a little look on the inside of Savely. So the most action at the moment is around this 10th position with Prieto and Daniel Kiss. as we open up lap 2 right now, and DRS will be enabled next lap, I believe. So that will open up a few more opportunities, as Daniel Kiss is once again on the back of Sadler, having a little look on the inside of the first corner, but no, he decided to back out of it there. Martin Hodes has had a good start as well, finds himself in 14th position. And let's have a look. The first guy who is on the hard tire is actually very far down the field. It's Danny van der Niet in 15th. So a lot of people who started on the hard tire, have lost some places during that first lap. Don't see that much action again. But yeah, Rens Klop going down the inside of Thoman in turn, that must be 3. Let's have a look at the track map. Yeah, that's indeed turn 3. And Rens Klop taking that move from Thoman. Good move actually, he was looking quite aggressive, but at the same time was right within the limits there. So Rens finds himself in 4th position, and he might give Thoman quite a hard time. I mean, we haven't seen Thoman really in this position a lot of time, so I'm wondering what Thoman can do, and I'm really curious to see what he can actually do throughout this race. Maybe try to undercut them with G, as it seems currently that it's pretty hard to overtake at the moment, although it's only lap 2 and DRS will be enabled now. So yeah, we should see some DRS flaps opening right now, which is indeed the case.
Yeah, so let's just take a look at Jeroen Thoman's top speed. He's hitting 320 kilometers an hour before he breaks into turn 1. But let's just see how well that car is set up. In Melbourne, Jeroen had a pretty good setup, considering he was able to keep with Conti, I believe it was, if I'm right, to keep up with him even with the dirty air. But that car seems really nicely set up. He doesn't seem to be affected by Rens too much, but at the moment, Jeroen, as we've said, I think Jeroen does need to get past Klopp and Leitner. So let's see what he can do, if he can get closer to Klopp and maybe go for an overtake into turn 1.
I do think that the DRS speed advantage you get is quite big, but at the moment the pack is quite close to each other from 4th position onwards, so they all have DRS, which compromises the effect. As I see a car very close behind another car, it's a battle for 13th position with Giuseppe Marconi and Martin Hodes, and Hodes is currently too far back to do anything about Marconi's position. But if he can get a good run out of the second spoon corner, which he will have indeed, as Marconi went a little bit too deep in there. So here comes Hodes down the inside of 130R, and he is already pretty much past, I believe, before the corner. They're still gonna go side by side. No, indeed, Martin Hodes slots in front of Giuseppe Marconi. Is Marconi going to do anything back? No. So that's the position for Martin Hodes, 13th place.
But just going on an update at the front, the order still hasn't changed from Leitner, Klopp and Thoman, but Alvaro Torres giving chase in 6th place. So still there isn't any position changes at the moment. Let's see if these guys can close up to each other and try and get some good passing moves going on.
Yeah, indeed, and I think that they're all just a little bit stuck. I mean, Daniel Kiss, if he can put in a good couple of laps, he might be able to overtake Savely, because Savely won't have the DRS. That gap to Rasmus Daly is just too big. But in front of Daly, it's everyone pretty much who has DRS on each other. So, yeah, as I said, it compromises the effect a driver has, and we don't see that much action. Back to the lead, Patel and Conti, the gap between them is 1.2 seconds, and it seems like the gap is just stabilizing more and more, as they are very, very similar in terms of lap time. Let's have a look through this final sector. Indeed, it was like 100th of a second the difference in the second sector, so extremely similar in terms of the lap times. And well, if Conti only has a really slight edge, like so slightly, he will even be able to close up and sneak on him lap after lap. But it's too early to talk about right now. It's still lap 5, so.
Yeah, let's. I just want to talk about Daniel Kiss. He made a mistake through the exit turn 13 in Spoon Curve, and he just got on the curve and then went wide, so he lost a lot of time to Thomas Sadler. So that sort of released the New Zealand driver a bit, but let's just see if Kiss can catch up to him. But as you said, there isn't really too much action going on at the moment. That, you know, you've got Gobby looking quite close to Prieto, but whether he can make a move, we'll have to see.
Indeed, and the difference between Conti and Patel last lap was only a tenth, and it's in this first sector of this lap it was only 2/100 of a second in the favor though of Conti. So Conti is slightly closing down Patel, as I've said. You're sneaking up on him, and if he keeps on doing that, he will be within the DRS range, and he might even challenge. But yeah, we see Daniel Kiss indeed dropping off the back of the New Zealander Thomas Sadler, and oh, Tally made a mistake in the second spoon corner. You went off actually. It was not in the second spoon corner itself, but the run to that on the exit of the first spoon corner just went wide. This is something we will see throughout the race a little bit more, I believe, because you, as your tires start to wear a little bit more, you get some understeer, and it might throw you off the track there, as we have two retirements.
Yeah, Johnny Simon and Yorick Boshov and Nick Rowland actually. So quite a few retirements going on now. So I think Yorick was in the pits, and then he just, I think he just clicked escape and then just ended up not didn't want to continue anymore. That's what I'm sort of guessing. We'll just find out and see if that was the case. But apparently it might have been a disconnection, but we'll just have to see. But I'll have a look at Johnny's.
Oh, sorry to interrupt you. Aslamajan is in the wall. I'm very sorry to interrupt you, but Aslamajan is actually on top. Oh, and Marconi at the same place. Marconi, what is going on here? In the first corner, Aslamajan is out, that's for sure. He is stuck behind the tire barrier because he flew over it in an attempt to defend from Hodes, and Marconi just followed him. I'll have a look what happened there. I saw Aslamajan off, and then Marconi just slamming himself into that same place as well.
Yeah, well, I've just got an update on Johnny Simon. He went into turn 1, and then there's a little bump between turn 1 and turn 2, and he just lost grip and just went straight into the wall, and he just had suspension damage, which is unfortunate for the positive SimRacing driver.
Yeah, I think that's the same what happened to Marconi and Aslamajan, although Aslamajan went way too fast into the first corner because he was trying to defend from Hodes, and this first corner is quite tricky as the tire wear progresses through the race, because you may not touch the outside curb there. If you're really lucky, you can get away with it, but yeah, it can spin you out, as we see Luca Daisy already being lapped only in 6th lap or 7th lap. So I wonder what's wrong with him. Anyway, back to the race, and wow, it was so oh wait, there's another guy off, I think. P15, that is Marconi. Okay, Marconi is just okay, Marconi just retired. Yeah, okay, so that's another retirement then.
Yeah, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 drivers already gone in the space of 7 laps. I mean, wow. I think the drivers are just dropping like flies here, and Marconi's suspension, I think, is too much to go and repair.
Yeah, I indeed get reports now from Sam Jones, our cameraman, that Rens Klopp pushed Luca Daisy a little bit off the track to lap him. I saw that as well actually, and Luca Daisy then just going off the track onto the gravel, and he spun. Luckily he didn't spun and in the middle of the track, otherwise we would have seen a bit of an incident, I think, as we see a little bit of battling perhaps around that 9th place again. So Daniel Kiss trying to pressure Sadler a little bit more, but yeah, not really that much action out on track right now. We might see early pit stops here in an attempt to undercut your opponent, but we'll see how that is going to form over the course of this race. Rens Klopp behind Liedner, having a look down the inside, but he is still far back at the moment to do anything about that. And Daniel Kiss having a look as well.
he just can't get the move done into turn 1. He's now going to go and follow the Ghost Speed driver throughout sector 1 with that dirty air, and it is going to damage his tyres because they're just going to overheat. But let's just see how much that dirty air is affecting him. Not too much, but he's still gonna have an issue here. So he had to completely lift off the throttle and actually down and short shift in case he spun off. But let's just see if Daniel Kiss can have another go on Thomas Sadler at the end of this lap. Lap 8, and I just want to ask the people on that's watching the broadcast if they've got any questions, as me and Jeroen have done in previous broadcasts. If they want to come and ask us, then feel free to drop it in the comments with Ash the commentator. But let's just round out Daniel Kiss. Let's round out this lap with Daniel Kiss. So here we go, he's on this straight, so let's see what he can do. Has he got enough speed to catch up Thomas Sadler into the 130R? No, he hasn't, but he's getting to that slipstream, and let's see what he can do as he rounds up the lap. He's got DRS on the main straight, so he's down into second, clips the curve nicely. Now he needs a very good exit. Thomas doesn't really have a very good exit. Daniel short shifts. Let's see what that Twister car's top speed is. So here we go. 7th gear. Can he finally take Thomas Sadler? He's on the rev limiter at 318 kilometers an hour, but basically Daniel Kiss is a sitting duck at the moment.
Yeah, the speed difference is only 10 kilometers an hour, and that is just not enough for Daniel Kiss. With the range, he is back at the moment from Sadler. So, as you said, the sitting duck, he is just stuck right in there, and that's the case for most drivers around this track. Still no action in around that final podium spot either, with Rens Klopp and Toman. Toman, however, is trying to put some more pressure on Klopp, I believe, as he is a little bit closer than he was. Not really that much action, and it's all not that serious. We can have a report on the leaders, however, because Patel is looking very strong. Last lap he was 2/10 quicker than Conti, so that gap is opening up a little bit more, unfortunately for us, for the spectator point of view, as we would like to see a battle for the lead, of course.
Yeah, indeed, and in fact, Norbert Lietner is holding up Rens Klopp and Jeroen from getting past, but Rasmus Charlie doing a good job to go from P10th. I believe he's now in P6, so a good job from him. But now we've finally got Giuseppe Marconi retiring after that suspension damage.
Right, so there's quite a few retirements, and unfortunately a lot of guys with suspension damage, so yeah, that shows that it's quite a demanding track for the drivers. Very easy to make a mistake here, very easy to get just a little bit of oversteer, and once you have enough oversteer, there's nothing you can do, really. You're just facing the wall. You can smash the brakes, but there's a high chance you are going to hit that wall, which is in front of you at that point then. But, moment, Sadler is under pressure from Kiss. Sadler didn't have the best first sector at all, actually, and Daniel Kiss is putting more pressure on him. But once they go through this 7th corner, Daniel Kiss picks up the dirty air. He's gonna have to lift off the throttle quite a bit every single lap, otherwise he's too close behind him, and he will probably get some oversteer because of the dirty air, and also some understeer at the same time. So it's a tricky situation for Kiss, although he does seem to be sneaking up on Sadler a little bit more lap after lap, but only ever so slightly. I mean, he's too far back really to do anything about it again after the exit there. Oh, Sadler looking for the limits there, almost went off. He just about kept his car on the curb though. You don't really want to hit that curb either. It's the same curb as the first outside corner curb. To be honest, it can spin you out as well.
Yeah, so we've now got Rens Klopp on Norbert Lietner. Does he have the top speed advantage to go and catch that faster than speed car? But I think he's just too far behind at the moment, and yeah, indeed he is. So as we've said, there isn't much action going on around this track. I certainly expected more, but that's my opinion, because Suzuka does drum up some fantastic racing. So let's hope as the race develops we do see some more action on track.
Yeah, I definitely do think so. I mean, we just got past the 1/3 mark of this race, and well, there's plenty more time to get some more action, of course, as the gap to the leaders is again opening up a little bit more. It's now 2 seconds, but the most important thing is Liedner there in the 3rd position. I mean, you can say, I think we can all say that he's holding up at the moment both Klopp and Toman, and there's nothing really that these guys can do about it. And well, yeah, as I said, I think he's just holding them up slightly, but hopefully that battle will unfold a little bit later in this race, and it will open up and create a spectacular battle, but we'll see, and we'll wait for that as well, as Kiss once again is too far back on Saverly, and in fact, Prieto, let's point him out, because he is doing quite a good race so far, down in 9th position, actually pressuring Daniel Kiss quite a bit now. He's quite close behind him, and he's too far back to do anything about it right now. He's not gonna dive bomb into this final chicane, but what a good race he has had so far.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, now Ren's Club and Jeroen in the pits. Let's see which pit crew has fastest pit stop time. So both pitting now. Let's see how they do. So Ren's Club is going out, and he's still ahead of the Precision Motorsports driver. They've both gone for the harder compound, so let's see. So they've now got to do 20 laps if they're going for a 1-stop on this hard tyre. We'll have to see how long they last. They should last for 20 laps in my opinion, from what I've tested out, but we'll just have to see.
Yeah, I think they can make it last, but as you said, we will see. They are obviously trying to undercut Liedner, so it will be important to see what Liedner is going to do this lap. I'll have a look at the live timing at the sector time, see if Rens and Toman have an opportunity of undercutting Norbert Liedner. This is going to be a crucial lap for Liedner, as he needs to be quick now in order to stay ahead of Rens Klopp and Jerry Toman once he pits as well. I presume he will pit this lap to respond, and let's have a look at the sector times then. So obviously still waiting for the second sector actually. So Liedner does a 44.8 milliseconds, so we'll remember that and then check what the times will be again, as Ross Mustali, whoa, it's all opening up right now with Saverly quite close behind Ross Mustali, not able to overtake him right now as Conti pits from 2nd place, trying to undercut Patel then as well. Who's going to pit more? It's Tali into the pits, Saverly keeps on going, Daniel Kiss keeps on going, Prieto in the pits too, so quite a few cars into the pits right now. Rens Klopp has done a 43.7 milliseconds, so he went a second quicker than who was it again? Liedner, and Liedner now exiting the pits, and yeah, indeed, wow, he has been undercutted by quite a margin.
Yeah, indeed, and let's just have a look at Rens Klopp's lap, and it was a 1:48.9. So to say he went into the pits, that is a fantastic lap. Well, fantastic outlap on them tyres. So let's just see what Norbert Liedner can do, or is Jeroen and Rens Klopp just going to go straight into the distance? But Rens has got all that confidence from winning the sprint race last time out, and plus winning the Pro Championship, so he's really on form at the moment. So let's just see what he can do and try and catch up to the likes of Torres and his fellow teammate Marco Conti. But at the moment, Gobby hasn't pitted yet, and he's holding up Marco Conti. So if Marco Conti needs a good drive out of the final corner with 130R, through 130R, if he doesn't pass the Italian driver of Fabrizio Gobbi, and they're both going to 130R, and Gobbi just goes on the outside of 130R, but now Gobbi is going to go into the pits, so that's going to release Torres if he's not pitting. No, Torres isn't pitting, so with Gobbi in the pits, that's now released Klopp, and so with Toman in
Toman is challenging
sixth, yeah.
He goes around the outside, tries to go around the outside, and that's not gonna happen. Whoa, suddenly Toman all over the back of Rens Klopp.
Yeah, it was great defending by Renskop, and if that move worked, that would have been a fantastic overtake by Jeroen. And in fact, Jeroen set the fastest lap of the race, which is a 1:35 dead. So what a fantastic lap that was from the Precision Motorsports driver. So he's definitely got more to bring. So as he now closes up to the Twister Racing driver of Renskop, let's see if he can go and attack him once more with that DRS.
Well, let's actually have a look at the leaders, because Sadler hasn't pinned it yet, and he finds Patel all over the back of him. But this is crucial for Conti as Patel goes down the inside of Spoon. That should be the place. Yeah, good job from Patel. Gets the move done. But how about Conti? Conti needs to get this place right now straight away if he wants to stay in contention for the win. Because I was about to say, Sadler held Patel up for quite a long time, and quite a bit as well. As Conti is now on the inside of 140. No, don't do it side by side. Oh, they go side by side through there. Sadler has to go off. Whoa, almost side by side through 140R, and almost both kept it on track. And luckily no collisions there. Sadler does pit now, but yeah, I was about to say that Sadler held up Patel quite a bit, and Conti is now within the DRS range of Patel as well. So crucial laps, well, crucial couple of laps from Conti. He also had a good pace there while Patel was obviously being held up. So if he wants to win now and stay in contention, he needs to stay with Patel now, especially within the 1 second DRS range.
Yeah, indeed. So now Thomas is exiting the pits, and so we've now got the Ghost Speed drivers of Thomas Sadler and Fabrizio Gobbi both in 10th and 11th, and Martin Honas doing a good job. I don't think he's pitted yet, but he's up into P12 and Daniel Anthony in P13. So there's only 15 cars running at the moment, and there's only a 1 second gap between fellow teammates Conti and Patel. But Patel really does need to win this to keep his championship titles alive. But as we've said, I think it's pretty much wrapped up now.
So let's see what Conti can do. Conti actually lost already time in the first sector, so I presume that Patel is now putting the pedal to the metal as he goes a little bit defensive actually for 140R. That's all trying to keep Conti out of his slipstream, because yeah, there are quite a few long straights around this track. But Patel looking very hungry for the win, as he is indeed pushing the pedal to the metal right now. The gap is already over a second, so it's not likely that we are going to see here a big battle for the lead. But remember that Patel does have the fresher tires out of these two guys. So a little bit further down the field, we see Torres still in third position in front of Rens and Toman. And Toman not able to really do anything about Renskop's position at the moment. So Rens being under pressure the whole time during this race, but not giving up on that pressure. I mean, he hasn't made a mistake so far. He's driving a good race at the moment. Very, very solid and very stable driver as always. But how about Lina now? Lina is now in 6th place, and I don't think he can really do a lot at the moment. His last lap was a 136.0, which is about a second slower than Jerry Toman up front. So doesn't really seem to have that great pace, and the rest is doing 35.8. So it could be a good battle here, but at the same time the dirty air effect, I mean, we haven't really seen a lot of battles during this race, so I doubt whether this will be another battle, if I have to be honest, of course.
Yeah, indeed, and Torres is going for a 2-stop strategy. He pitted on lap 10, and so he should pit on around about lap 20 or 21. So, and then he'll be on the harder tyres for the rest of the race, which will be about 15 laps. But there isn't too much action going on at the moment, as you said, Jeroen.
Yeah, we see Renskop and Torres now coming onto the straight. Alvaro Torres won't have DRS. Renskop, what the hell? Renskop does have DRS, however, has a little bit of a look down the inside, but no, he's too far back at the moment. So, wow, Torres keeping Renskop behind at the moment, but when will Torres' tires give up on him? And when will Rens capitalize on that and overtake him? I mean, it's easier said than done, of course, don't get me wrong, but Renskop, if he just if he just stays cool, which he usually really is, then he should get Torres in the next couple of laps, I would say, as he has quite a advantage with his tires. I mean, he's on a hard tire. Yes, probably less grip, but the degradation will be a little bit less as well, as Torres went flying through the two Deckner corners, and Rens lost a little bit of time there, but he will make it up again onto these straights here because of the slipstream effect. Lonely race for Hodes at the moment, still in 12th position, not really doing anything particularly special. I mean, 36.9, that is 2 seconds off the pace, so yeah, Hodes is just lonely at the moment, and well, driving not quick either, so start lighting up our time board, our time sheets, and Rens Klopp, I think once again too far back. We might wait for Torres to pit, but at the same time, if he stays within this dirty air, it will heat up his tires a little bit more. He will start to overheat, especially in the first sector, as you have mentioned before on this broadcast. So how long is Rens going to wait? And at the moment, I just don't see Rens overtaking. I mean, with all my respect, he's not quick enough at the moment.
No, indeed not, but if he just keeps his tyres, and he may be on for a podium here, because Torres is going to have to pit for the harder compound, but then maybe Torres will come storming through, but we'll have to see. But as we've seen so far, overtaking isn't really, there isn't really a lot of overtaking here.
Oh, and let's point out to Patel, because he just created a 2.2 second gap over Marco Conti, his teammate. I mean, Patel is currently in a class of his own during this race, just like we have seen Tillman doing pretty much all season long, except for Bahrain, I believe, where Patel won, with also a very good and quick race. So yeah, Patel looking very, very strong around this track. But back to the battle for the podium here. Rens Klopp is once again too far back, and it's just so it's always annoying, but at the same time you just want to see some action, and it's not there at the moment. And we have seen this before in the feature races, but then all of a sudden, a great example here is Monza, it all spices up in the sprint race. So let's hope for that at the moment, but obviously we still need to do 13 more laps as Alvaro Torres pits, so that will release now Rens Klopp from Torres. Torres, let's see where he's going to rejoin, and let's see what Thomas now can do as well. Will he open up the fight and the battle with Rens, or will he wait a little bit longer towards and attack him towards the end of the race? Maybe save a little bit more tires, as Torres is going to exit the pit, and he's going to end up behind Gobi probably. Yeah, he just about ends up behind Gobi, so he pitted from P3, and he has dropped now all the way down to P11. But bear in mind, he is now on the fresh hard tire. He finds himself behind Gobi, who's obviously on all the tires. So well, the battle is on here, I believe. So let's go back to that battle actually. Gobi and Torres places the battle for 10th position, and at the moment, well, Torres has these fresh tires, but yeah, he needs to take advantage of that and try to overtake Gobi as soon as possible, because if he doesn't, then his tires are starting to get a little bit more understeery, and they wear a little bit more. I mean, if you want to overtake someone, the best thing is just right after you come up out of the pits, because your tires are so fresh right then. As he finds himself in the slipstream of Gobi right now, he will close Gobi down towards the entire straight here through 130, a beautiful corner. It is of course flat out just like Eau Rouge, but obviously 130R isn't really that comparable with Eau Rouge, because Eau Rouge has a lot more elevation in terms of height. As Torres now opens up the DRS alongside Fabrizio Gobi. Gobi going to defend the inside, and Torres needs to go around the outside, but he does have DRS, so he gets the move already done before the corner, and then this 10th position then for Torres, and as he overtook Gobi going almost off the track there, and well, I would say that Gobi was just surprised there by the amounts of dirty. I mean, it is really a big difference if you are driving in clean air the whole time and then suddenly you get overtaken by a guy in front of you and you pick up this dirty air and it blows right in your face and you suddenly pick up that understeer and it really is hard to keep it then on track. Back to third place, Rens Klopp at the moment. Let's have a look at the lap times as Patel is just flying, opened up the gap to almost 5 seconds at the moment. He is 4/10 a lap quicker than his teammate Conti, and Rens Klopp doing 35.6s, so not too far off the pace. He's 3/10 off Conti his pace, and well, he's still followed by Toman, and Toman is, yeah, I don't know, it's hard to judge because I don't think we have seen Toman's raw pace. I mean, he has been behind Rens Klopp for the entire race so far. And that shows then that the Rens Klopp's overtake was crucial at that first lap into the third corner. But I don't know if we see Toman's true pace, true raw pace, because he is being held up the whole time, doesn't have the privilege to drive in clean air.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Jeroen, but maybe she can make a move on the next lap. Being stuck behind that Twister racing car for the last couple of laps, but I'm happy we finally had an overtake. You know, we've been waiting for nearly 7 laps and we finally have an overtake, so things are looking up at the moment.
Yeah, we might see another overtake from Alvaro Torres as he is right now flying, of course, on those fresh tires. Finds himself behind Sadler at the moment, and well, I think it's just a matter of time before he is going to overtake Sadler. Actually, Sadler having a little bit of a slide out of the second technical corner, going underneath that bridge. As I've said, it's an 8-figure track, and Torres flying at the moment. He was also doing purple sector times last time round, so yeah, he's looking very good. Too far back at the moment. He's gonna have to go for a good run out of the spoon corner, the second spoon. This is, I think, the first spoon, and this is the second spoon, or they are both called spoon. I'm not entirely sure on that actually. He did have a good run, but Sadler had a pretty good run as well, so respect to him for that and fair play. And Torres indeed too far back at the moment, but remember, he might pull off another move just like he did at Gobi, just close down Sadler at the moment on this straight, and then well, he closed up quite a bit, flying over those curves and then get early in the front. Yeah, this is gonna be a similar move to what he did to Gobi. I think he's too far back because with Gobi he was already alongside, but still he will have the DRS. Sadler doesn't bother defending the inside, so here comes Torres down the inside and he gets the move done. Unfortunately, Sadler did really put up a huge defensive move there, but yeah, you can understand that. Sadler is his own different strategy. He can defend, but he knows that Torres is probably going to get past on those fresher set of tires, so yeah, it's you can defend, but probably worse for your own race as you are demanding more from your tires. Rens Klopp still in third position then, followed by Jeroen. The point of view we have seen all race long so far. Apart from the first 2 corners. It's still Rens in front of Toman, and you've got to say that Rens is doing a very good and solid job. I'll have a look on board with him and see what kind of line he is taking, and if he is stable on the throttle, on the exit of corner, stuff like that, because Rens does seem like a very good driver and very stable as always, very consistent, that's the word. See, he comes through. Oh, he actually makes a mistake. He locks up for the chicane. I was on board with him, just saw him locking up. And this is the chance Toman wants, so can Toman get past? Rens Klopp making a mistake, that's pretty rare. And now comes Toman with DRS. What is Rens going to do? Will he go defensive? Rens does go defensive, so Toman needs to go around the outside of this corner. Can he do it? Rens down the inside still, and wow! Good stuff from Rens Klopp. Finally, this battle is starting to open up a little bit more. Rens Klopp still in front of Jeroen as well, beautiful move from Rens Klopp, and also respect to Toman because Toman didn't turn in on Rens Klopp. I think Toman just expected that. He wants to keep himself alive, of course, wants to score points for the championship. And if he stays in 4th position, I think he's looking good for the championship. Obviously, we have a sprint race after the feature race here. Yeah, he's looking good for the championship at the moment, but still, There was great defending from Rens Club, went defensive, wanted to go around the outside. That is very difficult for that first corner because the second corner follows up straight away after that, which is also a right-hander. And good defensive driving from Rens Club. Was quite aggressive again, but it's all within the limits, and that is what I like.
Yeah, indeed, it was fantastic defensive work from Rens Club. But Jeroen, I'm sure he'll be a little bit more frustrated at the fact they still couldn't get past the Twister Racing car, and he really does need them points to ensure he does secure the Ace Driver Championship.
So we saw Rens Club locking up in this same chicane. Last lap, this time round though, no mistakes there, but that flat spot on his tire, it's not really that visible, so it wasn't a huge lockup or anything like that, but definitely it must have taken away a little of his tire life at least, as well, the flat spot is there, and he will feel that in his force feedback for sure. I mean, he will feel that there are a few more vibrations, but it should wear out after a couple of laps as well, and Thoman just drops in behind Rens Club as well, so I don't really think Thoman has the speed to challenge Rens. Maybe he has the speed and is just being held up. He cannot get past, but yeah, it's a shame because you cannot really see a benchmark between Patel and Thoman, because Thoman is just not in clean air. But coming back to Patel, he opened up the gap to 7 seconds to Conti. I mean, that is a pretty big gap, and Conti, with all my respect, is just not able to keep up with Patel at the moment, and Rens is pushing quite a bit as well, I believe. Looking at the final lap times, Rens was actually quicker than Conti by a 10th during the last lap, so Klopp is looking good. And same has to be said for Thoman, who just keeps following Rens with the same pace. Cannot overtake him at the moment. I remember who is behind Thoman. It's Liedner, and that gap hasn't really opened up. It hasn't really been closed down either. I think it's just stabilized through the entire race. But maybe if Liedner pushes a little bit more, he's able to catch up to Thoman a little bit more, get himself into the battle, mix himself into the battle. He has 7 more laps to do that. Look at Daniel Kiss as well. He's very quick, doing a 35.4. He's the second fastest guy on track at the moment. He did a 0.8 last time round, so a little bit slower than before, but still he has good pace. Might challenge Liedner for that 4th place a little bit later, but yeah, that all still needs to be that all still has to be remained to be seen. As well, we have seen that closing up to another driver is one thing, but overtaking them is a completely other thing, and it seems to be very difficult to overtake around this track. Oh, and Prieto is off. Yeah, I was just about having a look through all the drivers, and I saw Prieto off, and now Gabi is going to pressure Prieto for the 10th position, so the final point-paying spot. And Gabi is too far back at the moment to do anything about it, but Prieto, I saw him off, and he must have had some kind of oversteer or unsteer moment on the exit of turn 7, then went to the grass. If you hit that grass, you're picking up understeer, and it only pushes you wider and wider up to a point where you slow down enough and can rejoin the track. That's probably what happened with Prieto. That's what I presume happened. As he makes another mistake, and he is almost off, and Gabi now taking the 10th place. Wow, Prieto making 2 mistakes in 1 lap time. Is that the tires going off? Is that concentration? It has to be concentration, because these tires still need to keep up and hold on for 6 more laps. Prieto was having such a great race before, and now suddenly he finds himself outside the top 10. He had some kind of rear lockup for the final chicane, and wow, this is not great for Prieto's race for sure. We still don't see that much action out on track at all. It still runs leading from Thoman. I mean, there's not a lot we can look, and I really do hope that this will all open up for the sprint race.
Yeah, Prieto is now off again. I'll just have a quick look.
Yeah, he is.
I think he just dropped the car again. Oh yeah, he did in fact. Is he retired now?
No,
Oh,
he
no,
still keeps on going, but
Well,
yeah, good spot there.
Yeah, well, that's credit to him to carrying on, because most drivers would just click that escape button and not bother carrying on. But credit to him, he's going into the pits now. So let's. I think he's pretty much out of contention of getting a top 10 finish. But you know, it's unfortunate. But let's just see if we can do anything in the sprint race.
Yeah, good spot. He was indeed off. Very weird place actually to be off. We haven't seen a driver going off there before. So that is Prieto indeed going to pay this lap as his pin light was on. But now we see a bit more of a battle, I think, finally, for third position. Tolman is putting more pressure on Klopp, his car. And same for the two drivers behind him. Liedner is being pressured by Danny O'Kiss for 5th position, and I really hope that we will see some battling here towards the end of the race. I'll have a look at Liedner's lap times, because at the moment he is quicker than the guys in front of him, so Tolman and Klopp. He is quicker than both of them. It was only by 2/10, but it's something. And visually you can see the gap is coming down a little bit more. So he has 5 laps to close that gap down a little bit more. It's not going to be easy because he's also being pressured from behind. And during this lap, Liedner, first sector, slightly faster than Tolman. So once again, faster, slightly, but if he keeps on going like this, he might close up before the end of the race. So hopefully we'll see a 4-way battle for the final podium spot. That would be nice. That would be nice to finish this race off with. Let's be honest, this quite boring race. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, it's quite a boring race so far. As we have DNF, Prieto DNF. Okay, so Prieto did in the end give up. Don't know if he crashed again. I'll have a quick look at that.
He actually spun off in the Spoonco, I believe it is. I'm
Okay.
just checking. Yeah, he went into. He was just on the exit turn 13, just blocked up and went straight on. But he's still carrying on. So as I said, credit to the guy. Right, but now Alvaro Torres right on the back of Rasmus Tarly. He's gonna have DRS. Tarly already going defensive. Let's see what Torres does. He's hitting a rev limit of 315. They're all gonna go side by side. They don't make contact. It's great driving by both of the drivers. But now Torres coming back. Let's see if he can get past. Tarly makes a little bit of a mistake. It's great. Now Torres is on the marbles, so he couldn't get past him. Now he's got the dirty air. But Torres looking very racy behind Rasmus Tarly.
That's more like it. That's what I want to see. Side by side to the first corner. Very great stuff from the pair of them, leaving space to each other. Great spatial awareness. Great defending from Tarly as well. And well, great once again spatial awareness from Torres, from Tarly of course as well. But as the overtaker or the attacker, you want to overtake of course. But sometimes you just need to keep your head cool. As Tarly had a little bit of a rear lockup, I believe. And oh, Torres getting a little bit wiggly on the exit of the hairpin there. So yeah, this is spicing up a little bit more. And let's have a look at the top 3 again. I'll have a look at the lap times here, so please stick with Torres, because Liedner lost lap 3/10 quicker than Tolman. So Liedner is quicker now than the guys in front of him. Hopefully he can close that gap down. Now we see Torres on the back of Tarly again. Will he make a move into 130? No, he's too far back to do that. But he is once again very close, and I do expect a move on the main straight. I was just about to say a move in the final chicane, but no, he decided to back out of it. And then focus on the exit of the final chicane. He did have a good exit. Rasmus Tarly gets a little bit wiggly on the exit. Should be a move down for Torres, I believe, as he's down the inside. And whoa, leave space. Good job, guys. Side by side into turn 1 again. No, that's not gonna happen. Torres gets the move done before the corner. Torres now in 7th position. Luckily, these two guys managed to bring us some action at least for this race.
Yeah, indeed, that was great. As you said, that was great driving by both of the drivers, and hopefully we do get some more action during the sprint race. But still, Daniel Kiss looking very close to Norbert Liedner. Whether he is close enough, has the top speed, and can get past the fast and speed driver. But it's been a very good race. It has to be said for Norbert Liedner to be getting P5 if he finishes there. So plaudits to him if he gets P5.
Yeah, and an update on leader on Leadner. I think P4 mixing himself into that Rens Klop Jerry Toman battle is a little bit too much. It's a step too high. He lost 2 tenths over the course of last lap. Still 3 laps to go, and that seems to be too much to close down a 2-second gap, almost 2 seconds. So yeah, I don't see Leadner joining that pack, that battle, mixing himself up there, but. Hopefully we will see some battling with him and Kiss, and same for Toman and Klopp. But although my faith is just dropping here. I mean, every lap has been pretty much the same story, other than that lap where Klopp made a mistake coming into the final chicane and he locked up. So yeah, I'm losing my faith here for a good nice race end. But yeah, we'll see what's going to end, and maybe I'm wrong. Let's hope I'm wrong. With just 2 more laps to go. For Mohammed Patel, the victory is already in his pocket if he makes no mistakes. The gap to Conti is 9 seconds. Great race from Patel, and well, we will see him of course in the sprint race starting from P8 as the top 8 will be reversed.
Oh, Norbert gone off and he's lost his rear wing. That's meant Daniel Kiss has gone up into P5. I'm sorry for talking over you, Jeroen, but wow. Norbert Leitner just lost his rear wing. I think that was a little bit of a curse of the commentator. What I said last lap with Norbert doing very well. That's so unfortunate for the fast and speed driver. He's damaged his suspension. His rear wing's gone. What a shame for the fast and speed drivers. He's now got the Twister Racing car driver of Rasmus Tully to get past. So it's good for Norbert to stay out of the way of the Twister Racing car. But what a shame for Norbert Leitner.
Indeed, a big shame. It seems like he carried too much speed into the second Dagner corner. It honestly looks like some kind of concentration mistakes as he just braked too late. Maybe, maybe he just couldn't cope with the pressure anymore. Who knows? Anyway, that releases Daniel Kiss now, so he is settled for 5th position. Final lap of the race for Patel at the moment, I believe, so it should be his final lap. And well, I don't see anything happening for the final podium spot, so it should be Rens Klop as well in 3rd position. And what a great race from Rens so far. I mean, he just kept Toman behind him for the entire race. And remember that Toman is probably the person, the guy who is going to win the world the Ace Championship here. So, well, he's holding back the Ace Champion, and that is very impressive as a driver who comes from Pro. Obviously took the Pro Championship in a very dominant fashion, and now also in the Ace Championship doing a great job. Anyway, Patel.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah, go on.
So Patel just coming through 130R, but I just want to say something quickly about Rens Klop. To keep Shuri Toman behind him for all that time, if he just takes P3, then that's a fantastic job for Rens Klop. But let's talk about Mohammed Patel. He's had a silent, very good race. Mohammed Patel takes victory here in Japan, and that is an absolutely fantastic job. 10 seconds away from his teammate Marco Conti. Nobody has been able to challenge Mohammed Patel. Shuri Toman, really unfortunate to be stuck behind Rens Klop, but come on, what a fantastic job from Rens Klop. He's done an amazing job to keep Shuri Toman behind him, and to have, and I just want to say, well done to Twister. What an amazing job they've done to get all 3 cars on the podium. Wow, that is amazing for them, and that's definitely going to give them high spirits going into this sprint race and the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, so it's Twister 1, 2, 3 are already looking very, very good and very dominant, in fact. So, well, as you've said, they're looking good for the rest of this weekend, as Patel then took home the victory. And we see Sadler now and Leitner as well crossing the line, and Leitner actually finished without that rear wing. So he kept on going, picked up a point without that rear wing.
But yeah, that is quite extraordinary. I thought he would have just gone into the pits, but credit to him just carrying on with that damaged car. But really unfortunate, he didn't get P5. But once again, from Australia, we've got Fabrizio Gobbi starting in first place in the sprint race.
Yeah, indeed, and the Twister cars, which were so dominant during this race, will then start a little bit more in the mid pack, and hopefully that will throw up a few more battles. I do think that we will see some more battling in this sprint race. I mean, it can't get really any worse, so hopefully we will see some more action then in the sprint race. I mean, that race was kind of boring, but yeah, we are going to settle down now for the sprint race then, and hope that the racing and the battling will get better there. I do expect it.
Yeah, indeed. So we're going to take a short break while we just get ourselves together for the sprint race. So we will see you in 5 minutes. Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Formula Sim Racing A Series. If you're just joining us, we are at Japan for round 11 of the Formula Sim Racing Ace Championship, and we are currently in this warm-up session with 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go, and we've got Marco Conti in first place at the moment with a 1 minute 34. But again, if you're just joining us, I'm joined by Jeroen Kweekel. Hello, Jeroen.
Hello and welcome back, everyone. Let's see how this sprint race will go. Hopefully it will spice up a few surprises, a bit more battling than a feature race. I honestly hope for it, and I do expect it with Gobby starting from pole position now, as the top 8 will be reversed from the feature race.
Yeah, indeed. Hopefully it allows for some more overtaking and a more exciting race. Just basically spice things up a bit with the feature race, because let's be frank, it just really wasn't that exciting. But hopefully the sprint races.
Yeah, and it wasn't that exciting at all. So yeah, we're gonna presume that this one will be a bit more exciting, and hopefully it will happen then as well. But Conti at the moment 34.0. That is a very good lap time. It's 4/10 quicker than Jerry at the moment. But Jerry, I think, can take home the championship here. So that's what he's going to do. If he finishes the race, I think he already will be a champion. So we will see Toman the champion here when we are going to leave. And actually, let's have a look at second place. Patel, 458 points. So yeah, if he finishes in front of Conti this race as well, he will be a champion, he will be the runner-up for this 2014 A Series, because I think a maximum of 75 points are awarded to a driver if they both win the feature race and the sprint race. And well, we only have one more race to go after this one. So this race will be the half distance of the feature race, which means that this will be 16 laps. In the World Championship, the drivers do 100% long race distances. In Ace, it is 60%. Same for Pro in the feature race, and in the sprint race, it is 30%. So half of the feature race. So divide 32 by 2, and you get 16. So obviously less fuel for the drivers to use, which means less tire wear. So I presume most drivers will start with the medium tire, the softer compound we have available here, because that should last then 16 laps long with less fuel on board. But I am wondering what Gobby can do. I honestly hope that he's going to have a good start and then hold up the pack a little bit, just like we have seen in Monza with Danny Van der Neet, and that remarkable drive from him where he won the race, keeping everyone behind. I hope to see a replay of that for Gobby, but generally because it can kick up some more action for spectators. I mean, with Van der Neet, it was just a train of cars. All battling, and that was just great to see. I hope to see a replay of that here, and I do believe we can get that replay.
Yeah, indeed. Gobby starting from pole position, and maybe he can do a repeat of Danny Van der Neet, because we saw in the feature race that wasn't really too much overtaking. So if he just keeps his cool, he can possibly, which would be an amazing achievement for him, take victory here at Suzuka. But I've just been working out a bit more in depth into Jeroen Toman and Mahan Patel. So at the moment, Jeroen Toman is on 567 points, which is a great achievement for the Precision Motorsports driver. And Mahan Patel is on 508. So, in other words, basically, I think Toman needs to score like 20 more points ahead. Well, I don't think 20, maybe 15 or something. I haven't worked on this properly, but basically, if Toman outscores Patel by like 15 points, he will take the championship, because I think it won't be possible for Patel to take the lead in the championship. But if it's still not finished by the end of this race, then it will go for the last round, which is at the Circuit of America, but basically Toman doesn't need to finish both races, but then Patel will win. But anyway, we've now gone into this race, and as Jeroen has said, it is 16 laps. So, Jeroen, do you want to take us through the grid order?
Yeah, for sure. Formation lap is then on the way, with Fabrizio Gobbi in first position, finishing the feature race in 8th position, having the right now to start from that pole position. Let's see what he can do. Ross Mustali in 2nd position for the Twister Racing black car, and he is followed by Alvaro Torres in 3rd position. Behind that it's Daniel Kiss. Let's see what he can do. He has no penalties. He just starts from 4th position now. See if he can get some places at the start, maybe later in the race. We'll see. Jerry Toman then, championship leader in 5th position at the moment. Should be good to take home the championship pretty much. He is followed by Rens Klopp, the guy the driver who has held him up for the entire race in the feature race. Then we see Marco Conti in 7th, Mohamed Patel in 8th, Norbert Liedner in 9th, Martin Hodes in 10th. And please take us through the rest of the grid.
Yeah, I can. So with Alex Diaz in 11th place, and this is actually Positive SimRacing's second to last race in Ace, and then we've got Daniel Anthony in 12th, Guido Valeriano in 13th, Thomas Sadler in 14th, Prieto in 15th, Artem Azerbaijan in 16th, Giuseppe Marconi in 17th, Johnny Simon in 18th, Nick Rowland in 19th, Renan Lopez in 20th, Daniel Bieder in 21st, Mark Goddard in 22nd, Chris Young in 23rd, and Yorick Boschop rounds out our 24 car grid. And I just want to go to the YouTube chat to ask a question. Would you guys like to see if there was dynamic weather in FSR? Jeroen, give your opinion on it first, please.
I guess I would like to see it, because it can spice things up a little bit more. Some drivers may be better in wet conditions than others, but at the moment I do think that I am happy with the way it is at the moment, and I have no complaints about the racing. It usually is really good, but it would be nice, I guess, to have some rain races maybe. But dynamic weather, I am not really demanding for that. I mean, just a wet race can also be good for me. But yeah, that's me.
Yeah, well, I'll just make this quick. But the R32 weather physics are pretty quick. Are pretty good from my real life experience. But it just needs a little bit of tweaking, and then it'll be perfect. But we are going to the start, and Jeroen, again, would you like to take us through it?
Oh yeah, for sure. We are waiting for Yorick Boschop to get into his grid slot, which he is doing so now. And Fabrizio Gobbi then in first position. Can he keep Ross Mustali behind at the start? Here we go with 1 light, with 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, and they are green now, and lights out, and away we go. Ross Mustali having a pretty decent start. Not going over Torres. Torres almost got touched.
That's a huge crash, yeah.
Huge crash. Oh no, please. Back to the front. It is still Fabrizio Gobbi who leads, and another spin from a Twister car. I do not know who that is, to be honest. And we see another car in the middle of track. More carnage. No, this is not what we want to see. Ross Mustali is second, followed by Jerry Toman in third, and Daniel Kiss in fourth. Rens Klopp in fifth. So though they made it all cleanly through. Marco Conti in sixth, and then even needs seventh. But what a great crash up behind, and it were actually a lot of crashes. Do we see any big names in there?
Alvaro Torres being one of them. What a horrific start to another sprint race. It's been clean for other races, but today and last weekend it has been absolutely horrific the amount of crashes at that start, it was just terrible. And for all the drivers, I think it was like from 17th downwards, which includes Norbert Lina, Chris de Jong, Guido Vagliano, Giuseppe Marconi, Alvaro Torres, Marek Godek, Daniel Bieder, and Nick Rhodes all out with suspension damage. And I was hoping that was going to improve, but that is pretty shocking in my opinion.
This is shocking. This is indeed shocking. And Ross Hope was all the way down the grid, managed to somehow avoid all that carnage, and he finds himself up in P13. So people, please, you cannot be very aggressive in the first couple of corners as you are right now. I mean, we have seen it in Australia too. Australia was huge carnage as well at the start in both the feature and the sprint race, as Stoneman is trying to attack Tully a little bit, but I have no words really. I mean, that looked pretty unbelievable. That looked shocking, as you have said. I don't want to comment anymore on that. I think it's just shocking and not good.
Yeah, indeed. I just want to say one more thing, and that's Johnny Simon. What an unfortunate weekend he has had. He had an unlucky mistake in turn 1 where he just hit the bump and went into the wall, but he's just got involved. He's lost his front wing, and that is such a terrible weekend for him. That's what basically happens if you start at the back of the grid with lots of drivers. You will end up crashing. But anyway, as you said, I don't really want to comment any more on that, and let's just let the director, Chris Cobb, deal with that. And so, Gobby still leads from Rasmus Tarley, and then we've got Jeroen Toman in 3rd place, doing a great job. He is keeping Mohammed Patel out of there. Mohammed Patel isn't even in the points at the moment. Oh, well, he's now gone in to P10, so at the moment, Jeroen Toman will take the championship here if it finished like that, but I'm sure Mohammed Patel will advance in the order. But at the moment, Rasmus Tarley 1.2 seconds away from Fabrizio Gomini, but as soon as they cross the line, it's now a second. So with 14 more laps to go, and Gobby just running a little bit wide, is still 14 more laps to go, and let's see if we can have some more action.
We get now a question as well in the comments. Mr. Double asked, what was the reason why there are no red flags? I'll have a talk with Chris Cobb, who is currently here, the coordinator, the moderator in this lobby, and ask why not. I mean, he has 3 laps to the side, I believe. I believe what Carlos Martin told me after last race. So it still could be a red flag, although I don't really see it happening. It would have been right here, though, to have a red flag, in my opinion. I mean, that crash was, again, huge. But yeah, we don't see one, and deal with it then. You know, you have got to keep going. Red flag, okay, red flag, yep, there we go. Chris Cobb now says red flag, red flag, red flag. So we do indeed get a red flag. And as I've said, I think this is right in place. This is good, you know.
Indeed.
And actually, a lot of drivers have left the lobby, so everyone, please go rejoin, and then we can race again. And a lot of drivers seem to actually not be happy with this. Okay, wait, they are probably not happy with the decision, but they are not happy with the crashes. Okay, yeah. Wow.
That's a good decision by Chris Cobb, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was good, and it took some time for him to make that decision. I think he wanted to have a good think about it, but in the end, that's the right decision. As I said, I think you have 3 laps or something like that. But oh man.
Yeah, but I'm glad he's restarted it, because it was an absolutely horrific crash, and let's just hope for the 3rd time we haven't had a clean start in 4 race starts, so maybe this is lucky number 5, hopefully, but I can always hope, but then again, it can never always be clean, but let's hope that it just changes for once.
Danny Obida luckily keeping his head cool and having some kind of humor during these minutes. as you just said, typhoon in front. That's what happened. Well, so I don't think that was a typhoon. I didn't see anything. But yeah, seriously, I mean, this cannot be true. This can't be real. I mean, it's just not one crash, you know. It started at the back, yes, that caused a chain reaction. But then also during the couple of corners after that as well, we also saw a car crashing or spinning. We saw a car standing in the middle of the track. Yeah, it is. It's difficult to have any kind of comments on it. And the thing is, if they keep crashing, it's only going to get worse. That's at least my experience and my view on it. If you keep crashing, it becomes something which gets into your mind too much. And when it gets too much in your mind, you're actually going to do it. Seriously. If you don't think about it and just be clean and safe for the first couple of corners, you're usually good. But we have seen a huge crash in Australia too, and I don't think that advantages the race starts for the later races, the races which are coming up after that. I don't know if you can somewhat recognize that story, that story, but I do find it and I see it that way. Okay, so you might be wondering, how about the starting order now, as we see more and more drivers now rejoining the server, luckily. Well, the starting order will be the same as the starting order we have seen in the beginning of the race. So the positions which were already changed, and the crashes we have seen, it's just the same grid slots, the same grid positions for this sprint race.
Yeah, indeed, and
so yeah, that doesn't affect anything.
Yeah, but Alvaro Torres going pretty strong in this second warm-up session. Let's hope we don't get another red flag. I hope there isn't, because you don't want to see drivers all wiped out in this race. So once again, Gobby will start on pole position. I think Rasmus Tali is in second place, but I can't really go into much more detail from that. But we'll just have to wait and see the starting order. But definitely happy that we've had a restart, because it's not fair to see all them drivers get involved.
Yeah, and this is what I meant actually. I mean, now the how can you call it? I guess the relationship between the drivers gets a little bit more. There's a little bit of aggression within the drivers now, and they will carry this over to the other races now too, and that will influence those starts as well. And we might see another replay then. I mean, we see a lot blaming all the drivers and stuff like that. A lot of talking, a lot of angry drivers, but that's not the right thing to do now. Just keep it clean. That's what Chris indeed now says. Keep it clean, guys. I mean, that is all you really can say. You can get mad at someone, but it's not gonna help. You're gonna have to reset your mind, keep it cool, and restart the race, even though it can be difficult. Anyway, now coming onto the race again, 16 laps long, and let's pray for a better start here. I said, I think the drivers are a little bit angry, so I hope everyone just keeps their calm and keeps cool.
Yeah, indeed, and they've just got to take their emotions out of the equation and just try and do their best, and just forget about all the anger that they have from the incidents that they had before. But we are now starting the race again, we will have another formation lap, I believe. So
Yeah.
So Gobby will lead from Tali, Torres, Kiss, Toman, Klopp, Conti, Patel, Leitner, and Bodas. And do you want to take us through the rest of the grid, Jeroen?
Yeah, we'll do it quickly because we've done it already so far. We see Diaz in 11th, Van der Niet in 12th, Valeriano 13th, Sevely 14th, Prieto 15th, Slamage in 16th, Marconi in 17th, Johnny Simon in 18th, Lopez 19th, Bida 20th. And this is important for the broadcast because you guys cannot see which drivers are in after 20th place. So here we go. 21st, Marek Godek, 22nd, Chris de Jong, 23rd, Jorik Boshoff, and that's it. So if I remember correctly, I think there were 25 drivers before, so it's now down to 23. So we are missing 2 drivers, I believe, who just quitted after the last race incident. But we'll see how they can get on now. And I don't think anyone is going to start from the pit lane. No, everyone is out on the formation lap, so no pit lane start. So everyone still wants to stay out on track.
Yeah, I think it was actually 24 because I joined in as an spectator, and anyway, that doesn't matter. I might be wrong, but well, I think it was 24. Anyway, there is some driver missing. I'm not too sure at the moment who it is, but we've got all the main drivers, I believe. I'm just looking, and
yeah, I do think so. Yeah.
We'll just have to see who wasn't in the server. Okay, so we've just got information from our cameraman Sam Jones, who's doing the broadcast. So thank you, Sam. He's doing a fantastic job. As always, stepping in for Yarko, but it's Nick Rowland, driving for Avid Chronic Racing, not in the server because of the restart. So we are now lining up once more for the grid in this race, and once again, Jeroen, would you like to take us through the start?
Yeah, so we have some kind of benchmark now already, which is good. I mean, we saw Gobby having a good start. Hopefully he will have it this time too. Hopefully for him he will have it this time too, and keep Tali behind. So let's see. As everyone starts to line themselves now up on the grid, it's again waiting for Jorik Boshoff to then get into his grid slot, and we are waiting for the lights to come on as well, and then this race will be underway. Please keep it clean, guys. Please keep it cool. Let's do this. We have 16 laps long to drive, to challenge all the drivers. That's long enough, so keep it clean. Here we go. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, and then there we go. Lights are green. Away we go. So another time of our Torres gets a good start. No position changes up front at the moment. As we see everyone now to turn around, it's clean at the moment. Torres around the outside of Gobby. Torres in 2nd place at the moment. Great start from Torres around the outside of Tali. Gets the move down. Torres jumps in position to P2 at the moment. I don't see crashes up front at the moment, and it looks
Chris
like
just took out Renan Lopez. No, Chris. He just tapped the side of Renan Lopez, and that just sent him spinning. But anyway, we'll carry on. Go on, Jeroen.
Yeah, okay, so we see Lopez down at the back of the field, as you have mentioned, being tapped by Chris de Jong, and probably. I didn't see it myself, so I cannot judge. Not a lot of position change up
Simon's
front.
involved now. He's just lost his front wing. I don't know who was involved. I'm sorry for interrupting you, you again, Jeroen.
No problem. We see some action in the hairpin. Martin Hall is battling with Denny Van der Niet for 10th spot. Up front, it's again the same. We don't see any position changes up front. Verton's managed to get past Ross Mustali, and that's pretty much it. We see a lot of twister cars there, a lot of blue cars from 4th position onwards. We see Jerry Tillman, who is in front of Klopp, and it's a much better start though, a much better start than we have seen before. Johnny Simon though has lost his front wing. He was already angry before this racing was started, so he will be more angry now. It's Thomas Sevely down the inside of Alex Diaz in 130R. Was a little bit too far back, but it was very close. Now all drivers heading into this final chicane here. Keep it clean. It indeed keeps clean. So I'm gonna jump back to the lead, and we don't see any position change here. Luckily, a better start.
Yeah, I just got some news on Johnny Simon. Basically, he just went into the 2nd Degner. and he just basically misjudged when Godek was going to brake, and he just went into the back of Godek and lost his front wing. But unfortunate for Simon, he's in the pits with Ren and Lopez, and I think Lopez may be getting repairs for that incident with Christian. But let's look at the lead. Fabricio Gobbi in the lead with a 5/10 gap to Alvaro Torres, and Alvaro Torres doing a very good job to be up in P2, and Rasmus Tali on a different strategy. Whether Torres and Gobbi can keep their tyres on their medium compound tyres, and whether Tali will come into play on them harder compound tyres. So we'll just have to see what happens at the latter stages of the race.
Yeah, so everyone settles now into their positions. We have seen, well, mainly two main drivers, Lopez and Simon, with damage, but that's pretty much it. Now everyone settles into their own pace and flow, and we shouldn't really expect a lot of incidents anymore at the moment, so that is good. Battling, we see some battling further down in the pack. It's about 14th spot. Yeah, that's where the train starts, with Islamijan leading it. The train must have had a good start, I believe. Islamijan in 14th position at the moment. And yeah, there's a little bit of, but nothing too major down this main straight. No position changes here yet, as the DRS should be enabled this lap.
Yeah, indeed. But now let's go and have a look at Torres and Gobbi. Torres is only around 3/10 away from Fabrizio Gobbi. Let's see what Torres can do. So he enters the first Degner, and then he now breaks down into the second Degner, and he's now all the way up to the hairpin.
So they go to there through the hairpin, but no, Torres not able to get on the throttle any earlier than Gobbi, being compromised probably by the dirty air, and Rasmus Tali falling off the back from Torres. So Gobbi is not really holding the whole pack up, because there's a gap between second and third position, Tali and Torres, starting to form there, with Tali holding up then the twister cars, and Jerry Toman right in between those twister cars. I mean, we see a lot of blue cars from the Twister Racing, as Daniel Kiss is very close behind Tali, going for the inside here in the final chicane, and Daniel Kiss gets the move done, up in P3. Will Tali go for the undercut? No, he cannot put the power down any earlier than Daniel Kiss, so Kiss up in P3, and definitely now going for the hunt to P2 to Torres, and Rasmus Tali under immediate pressure from Toman, and wow, good defending from Tali, and let's glove down the inside from Jerry Toman, and now they head into the next corner, turn 3, side by side, a little bit of contact I believe, but nothing too major. Toman keeps that place, but whoa, Rens Klopp being very sneaky there, trying to go on the inside. Great intelligence from Klopp, as he went for that gap there, almost actually took Toman. I bet Toman didn't expect that.
Yeah, indeed, and we've actually got our first two retirements being Prieto and Bida, but now we've got, let's just go and have a look at Alvaro Torres and see what he can do and try and get past Gobbi. So they're now going into Spoon Curve, and we're just going to follow them around until they get to the DRS zone. Alvaro Torres' top speed is only 315 kilometers an hour, so we're now going straight to the 130R, this great corner, flat out, and just hold your breath and wait and just let the car grip up. And here we go, so Alvaro Torres going through the 130R now, breaking down into the final couple of corners, but Gobbi doesn't exactly get a fantastic exit. So now this is Torres' best chance. Is he close enough? Has he got the top speed to go and take Gobbi? Here we go. He just isn't close enough at the moment, but if Gobbi makes no mistakes and keeps his tyres, and for Tali to not come back into it on the harder compound, Gobbi will take victory here.
We just got a question from Adrian Rodriguez in the comments asking in the top 10 which drivers are on the medium and the hard. Well, everyone is on the medium tire except for Tali. Rasmus Tali went for the hard tire, and he will do well. Oh, Godek and Chris Young are out. Oh, sorry to interrupt that story. But Godek and Chris Young are both out. Maybe a little bit of an incident. They were close to each other before, so maybe an incident. Now have a look at the replay. But yeah, Tali is the only one outside or inside the top 10 who is on the harder compound at the moment. And Gobi doing a good job at the moment, keeping Torres behind. And Daniel Kiss managed to catch up to them. So Kiss is now mixing himself up there as well. And Marco Conti off. Conti went off in Spoon and losing 2 positions, probably to Leaner as wow. Well, that's gonna be challenging for Conti to stay with that position. He actually keeps that position at the moment, but Leaner trying to have a look down the inside of 140, not gonna happen though. And will Leaner though decide for the final skate, not gonna happen. No, but Conti making a mistake there, which costs him 2 or 1 place. I think it is 1 place, might be 2, but not entirely sure on that. You see now Rasmus Tali under pressure from Thierry Toman, and Daniel Kiss having a little bit of a look. Not gonna happen. Thierry Toman on the outside. No, Rasmus Tali still keeps that place in the same fashion as before, just down the inside, and Toman doesn't or is not able to go around the outside there, which indeed is right. I mean, that's not an overtaking move there around the outside.
Yeah, I just want to go back to the Christian and Marek Godek incident, and I think the people on the broadcast have seen the replay of both of them, and it was, in my opinion, I think it was Christian's fault. He hit the back of Godek's line and just sent them both unstable and into the wall. So unfortunate for both drivers. But now let's go back to the lead. Gobi still in the lead, 6/10 of a gap to Alvaro Torres, and Daniel Kiss giving chase in 3rd place.
Sorry, Leadner's off. Sorry, Leadner is off. Sorry to interrupt you. But he spawned on the exit of the hairpin. Another great weekend for Leadner. It all looked so good and going so well for him before in the qualifying, but he has messed it up in the races and is now down into 15th position. Doesn't have a front wing. He's gonna have to pit again. He goes off again. Oh, he's flying, and oh, another great weekend for Leadner. This is. Just went too early on the throttle on the exit of the hairpin and spun himself around. Sorry to interrupt you. But,
yeah, it's fine, Jeroen.
Please keep on going.
Yeah, so we're now heading in to turn 1 with a fight for 1st place with Gobi, Torres, Kiss and Tali. But now, Jiri Toman looking on Rasmus Tali, but he just can't get the move done. Tali defends the position well, but they're all looking racy in that top 10. Mohammed Patel really does need to advance some more places, as does Jiri Toman. We've now got 10 laps to go.
So Tali then being the only one in the top 10 on the hard tire is having quite a tough time, I would say. I mean, he is holding up Toman at the moment. I mean, he's keeping him behind brilliantly. Well, he was actually, I'm gonna correct myself, he looked, as we have lost Danny van der Niet, it looked like Tali didn't have great pace at all, but his tires are probably starting to work a little bit better for him now, as he is closing Daniel Kiss down a little bit more. Remember, he is on the harder compound, giving him less grip, but also less wear. So the people around him are not having as much tire life as him anymore. And that might actually give Tali right now a slight advantage over his competitors, and we'll see what he can do. And I'll have a look at his lap time from this lap and compare it to the leader, Fabrizio Gobi, who is still keeping everyone behind him. So Gobi doing a good job, needs to keep it up for 10 more laps. Oh, he spins! Gobi spins, locking up on the way down to the braking zone for the chicane. Actually cut the track and rejoined the track and stays in 1st position. I do think he is allowed to do that without any big consequences. We see some battling behind though. Look at this, we have a lot of twisted cars attacking Jiri Toman. Rens Klopp is going to be around the outside for this corner, and he gets the move done. Klopp now in front of Toman, as we have seen in the feature race. Klopp again in front of Toman, and Toman again finds himself behind this annoying blue twister car from Rens Klopp. But has to be said, great move from Rens Klopp.
Yeah, indeed it was. I just want to go back to a person who's retired, which is unfortunate, which is Danny Randoni. He just went straight into turn 1 and went on the exit curve of turn 1 and just went straight into the wall. Unfortunate for him.
So Gobi starting to show a sign of possible tire wear, possible concentration loss. One thing is for sure, it was a mistake. Luckily it wasn't such a big mistake. I mean, he did it in a smart way, let's be honest. He locked his tires, but yeah, was able to save it and actually rejoin pretty quickly the track. So he didn't lose the position to Torres. Although Torres now being quite close, he will pick up all of this slipstream through this final sector now as well. At the ending of the second sector, which will be in his advantage as he will have DRS2. So it's all down to this exit. Can Gobi get early on the throttle and have a good exit? He indeed had a good exit. And will that be that enough to stay in front of Alvaro Torres? Torres has the DRS wide open. Remember, Daniel Chris is watching this battle as well. And Torres still far back indeed to do anything about the lead at the moment. Further back, Rens Klopp still in front of Jerry Tolman. And that's pretty much it. We see Savely in 10th position at the moment. So he is the final point playing position. He is in there. And I don't see much more action at the moment. But luckily, a much more enjoyable race than the feature race. Wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, indeed. And apparently, well, I just want to go to the YouTube comments, but Adrian Rodriguez, the positive SimRacing driver for their World Championship team, says that Gobi should give back the place. So, what do you think, Jeroen?
No, definitely not. I mean, yeah, this can happen, but for me, if it happens once, it's fine. But twice, okay. Third time now, that's too much. I mean, you can always make a mistake, and you can rejoin in that fashion. And in my opinion, it's all fine. I mean, giving him or letting him give the place back is too harsh. But you know, that's my opinion, and we're all human, and we all have different opinions. And luckily, we are all having the right to have different opinions. But no, I don't think. I think it would be too harsh to give that position then back.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. So now, let's look at Alvaro Torres. He's looking much closer to the ghost speed car of Fabricio Gobi. Can Alvaro Torres take the ghost speed racing car? So Gobi goes defensive, but Alvaro Torres just doesn't get past the ghost speed car as we enter lap 9 of this 16-lap sprint race.
Indeed, Gobi defending the inside there. No way for Alvaro Torres to get past, not around the outside either. So still Gobi in that first position, still needs to hold on for 7 more laps. It's a big task, but who knows, he might be able to do it thanks to the dirty air as well. I mean, it's a big factor here in this race, and if he has a good spoon corner and has a good exit, Torres won't be as close for the DRS zone as he would be if Gobi did make a mistake on the run down to 130R, so the exit of his corner. So Gobi needs to concentrate on those places and just put the pedal to the metal then. Of course, make no mistake, and have a good exit and have a good run. And in that fashion, I do believe he is able then to stay in front of Torres.
Yeah, indeed, I totally agree with you. But Torres gained most of the time going through the final chicane in the last part of the lap, so he just got the corner entry perfect, and he was just able to gain on Gobi and brake later. But here we go, second round of Gobi and Torres in lap 9, going into lap 10. Does Alvaro Torres have the pace to overtake Gobi? No, he doesn't.
No, Torres hits 315 kilometers an hour at the end of the straight, and Gobi hits 305. As the fuel will come down, because I think Torres was already hitting the ref limiter, as the fuel is going to come down, it only will be in Gobi's advantage. Why? Because his car will be lighter, his car will have better straight line speed. And well, that will obviously help him then to defend, because I think there is not much more straight line speed for Torres to be gained, as he was already in the ref limiter there. So yeah, hopefully for Gobi he will be able to stay ahead, and hopefully for Torres he can somehow find a way to get past Gobby. Maybe wait for another mistake from Gobby, who knows. Gobby is certainly under a lot of pressure, as Alvaro Torres does look kind of close to Gobby at the moment. But it's all again about spoon corner. If Torres is going to get a good spoon corner and a good exit, he will be close, and he will close him down then for the run. Oh, big slide from Gobby, I think. Yeah, that is compromising his exit speed. Here comes Torres now. And that is the mistake Torres has been waiting for. Is Torres going to make a move down at 130 already? No, he's not. He still stays behind. Gobby going defensive for the final chicane. Torres around the outside. Can he make it stick? Oh, contact between the two. Oh, Gobby losing his rear wing. Torres managing to keep on going. Gobby spins now, probably not knowing that he is. Oh, and we see Twister cars. Twister cars colliding. Patel is out. Patel is out of the race. He collided with Conti. It's all kicking off now. Rasmus Stali around the outside, free wide into the first corner. And Rens Klopp, ooh, second position. Wow, it all kicked off there for sure. Jerry Thomas now in third. And wow, it all kicked off there. It started with Gobby losing his rear wing. Then there was a twister car which was spinning and hit another twister car. Patel and Conti, and wow, I have no words for that.
No, I don't either, and I'm not really going to comment on that. I think you've pretty much said it all, Jeroen. But anyway, Alvaro Torres now leading. I think he's lost his end plates on his front wing, so he's going to have reduced front end grip. But he's now going to come under attack from Rens Klopp. Can he make it 2 in a row in this sprint race? What an achievement that would be. You know, Rens Klopp coming from the Pro Series to now winning races in FSR in the A Series. If he won the sprint race, that'd be an amazing achievement for the Twister Racing driver. So here we go, Rens Klopp getting closer and closer to that net race car. Here we go, and Torres just goes over to the left-hand side when Gobby was coming through. I think that was okay. But here we go. Here's Rens Klopp with DRS. He has got the top speed advantage. Let's see what top speed he has got. 318 kilometers an hour, and Rens Klopp takes the lead in this sprint race with 4 laps to go. What a move from Rens Klopp. Fantastic job from him.
What a move indeed. He is leading again. He is doing it again. Rens Klopp is leading. But let's have a look at Torres. Can he keep up with Rens Klopp? I'm seeing that the front right wing end plate on Alvaro Torres' front wing is missing. So that will compromise his downforce level slightly. It's not a lot, but it's definitely there. Which will not help him. It won't work in his advantage. And actually, Rens Klopp is pulling away a bit of a gap already. I doubt whether Torres can stay behind him. I mean, wow, Rens, it's all coming together here for Rens.
Yeah, indeed it is, but I've just been thinking that I can see when before Rens overtook Torres that Torres was having a lot more understeer, but definitely with the dirty air, it's going to really affect the Crown 7 Networks driver. But here we go. Can Jeroen, has he got the top speed to go and get past the Networks car? Look at how much he's catching up to Alvaro Torres. But here we go. He breaks down into first gear, and they touch a little bit, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. So here we go. Toman doesn't exactly get the exit he wants. So here we go. DRS is open. Has Toman got enough speed? Wow, he's really catching up. 324 kilometers an hour. Wow. Look at that top speed of that Precision Motorsports car.
That's indeed a very high top speed, maybe the highest we have seen from every single car at the moment. So most drivers are about 315. We know from Torres he is 315 with DRS, but yeah, 324 is indeed impressive. Look at the gap that Rens Klopp has already made. It's 1.2 seconds, so even if Toman is going to get past, it will be hard for Toman to get the win. But I think Toman will be settled with third position. He will be happy with that. He will be the champion as it stands right now, as Patel has retired.
Yeah, we were hoping for a championship battle, but definitely Patel put up a great fight in that Twister Racing car in the feature race, but it will be an amazing achievement for Jeroen and Precision Motorsports for their achievement in this A series, and I think Twister may overtake Precision Motorsports in the standings if I'm right, in the constructor standings, but I'll have to double check that. But here we go, back to the race with Jeroen and Alvaro Torres. Alvaro Torres breaking down with Toman. Let's hope there isn't any contact, but Toman getting the good exit he wants. So with Toman's 324 kilometers an hour, DRS is now open for Toman. Look how much he's catching up on that narrow sky. He's just zoomed straight past Alvaro Torres, and great move from Jeroen. That's put him up into second place. Now he's going to go and chase down top. There's only 2 laps remaining, but has he got enough tyre life and speed to go and hunt down the Twister Racing car and stop Klopp from taking another victory in the A Series?
I honestly don't see it happening. The gap is 3 seconds, so Rens Klopp made up a 3-second gap. This is also Rens Klopp's intelligence. I mean, he knows now that he had to push and then create a gap, because if Toman was about to get past, which has happened, he would have had some kind of buffer in between him and Toman, and that's exactly the case now. It's 3 seconds, it's 2 more laps, I don't see it happening. So I think Rens has this one in the back and Toman just has the championship in the back. But don't forget, we are not yet settled for this final podium position, because Conti is challenging Torres, and Conti will do everything he can, I'm sure, to get that final podium spot. He only has 2 more laps to do it, but who knows, he might be able to do it, because Torres, I don't know what has happened with Torres, but he has just fallen back a little bit, I believe. Maybe because of the front wing and plate damage, I am not sure. Here comes Conti already on the inside of the final chicane. Torres brakes late and still stays in front, so Conti is waiting for the DRS zone, which is coming up now. I don't know if Torres will have DRS. If he has DRS, it will definitely help him. He does have DRS. Yeah, that will definitely help him now, defending from Conti, and indeed Conti is too far back at the moment.
Yeah, I just want to go back to a point you made at the start of the broadcast, where you need actually it was on the UK broadcast for F1 in Japan, and you said that you really need your front end for Japan, but of course Torres not having the front end on his car means he's going to be really struggling as well with the dirty air to keep up and keep them good lap times he was setting before the incident with Gobby. But now it can be even worse with Conti taking it away from Alvaro Torres. So, and Rasmus Tully just has a little bit of oversteer, and this is going to allow Martin Hodas to try and get through. So here we go. Can Martin Hodas take 5th place into the first of the Spoon Cup? No, he can't. But now, has he got a good enough exit and the top speed to go and take Rasmus Tully?
I don't think so. Rens is already weaving the 4-1 for Rens is so happy, I believe, with this win, and actually he's going to take it. But what about third position? Conti might go for a dive in the final chicane. He doesn't do that, and Conti locks up a little bit, and Hodas down the inside of Tully as Rens Klopp home the victory. But it's all about the back now, side by side. Martin Hodas and Daniel Kiss, and Hodas will place with some contact. So I don't know. Stewart might need to look into that. Sadler comes on in 8th, Diaz in 9th, and Jorik Boshoff in 10th. But well, the races has been much more exciting than the feature race. Rens Klopp takes home a victory. They will be super happy with that. 2 sprint races for Rens Klopp, 2 victories. Great stuff from him. And Jeroen then, the champion of 2014 in the A Series. Congratulations to both Rens Klopp and Jeroen, especially to Jeroen for winning this championship. And wow, a well-deserved championship.
Indeed. I just want to talk about Rens Klopp. Wow. What an amazing drive he has had in both of these races. He's got P3 and winning the sprint race. Wow, Rens Klopp is certainly on a charge to do well next year if he has the pace what he's shown this year in winning Pro and winning in Ace. But Jeroen, he's held off all the competition from Twister and Netrex. to take his Ace Championship for Precision Motorsports. It was his debut season in FSR, and what an amazing achievement he has had in FSR, and like I said before, he will no doubt go on to greater things in the World Championship. But in Hockenheim, he certainly showed his pace with getting P3, but definitely what an amazing job Jeroen's done, and definitely all the best to him with the World Championship, because he's a fully deserved winner in the A Series, and I don't think anyone can question that.
So that concludes the Suzuka race, and wow, what a weird race it has been. Actually, a very boring feature race, but the sprint race, indeed, as we expected, flew up a lot more action, especially with Gabi. And wow, then it all kicked off with Patel being spun out, and thanks to that, Jeroen now winning the 2014 Ace Championship for Precision Motorsports. He will be delighted with that, of course. And he already wins it with just one more race to go. So it's not in the final round. He just wins it already before the final round. Great stuff. And yeah, once again, I'm sure he will be very happy with that. But what a race this has been, this sprint race. We have seen the huge crash before. After that, we had the red flag and the restart, and it went much better that time, has to be said. Still a few crashes, but yeah, it just went much better. But it seems like Suzuka is very demanding in terms of a track for the drivers. I mean, once again, we see a lot of retirements. Of course, a lot of them were thanks to contact, but also we have seen a lot of driver errors this evening.
Yeah, indeed we have. So, with Rensklop taking victory in the sprint race and Jeroen taking victory in the A Series. What a A Series this has been so far. I think it has to be said, a little bit boring in the feature race, but definitely the sprint race made up for that with the 16 laps we had. But have you got any final thoughts, Jeroen?
Well, I think we should keep an eye out on Rens Klopp. I mean, he's a pro champion already. He has won 2 races now in the A Series and 2 sprint races, and he is so good at capitalizing drivers' mistakes. I mean, if you make a mistake, he will get you, and he will never ever let you by again. We have seen that with Toman. He was able to keep Toman behind, and Toman is now the Ace champion. So I expect a lot more from him, and of course, as well from Toman. Next year, we'll probably drive in the World Championship, do some or get some experience there, and well, I'm looking forward to him as well. Obviously, we have one more round to go, but yeah, I think we can say that feature race, as you have mentioned, was quite boring, but the sprint race once again just made up for that. It seems like these sprint races are a good idea, as they really throw up a lot of action.
Yeah, indeed we are. So that was round 11 of the Formula Sim Racing Ace Championship, and I think it was definitely better in the sprint race. But thank you everyone for watching, and we will see you for the last round of the Formula Sim Racing 2014 round 12, which is at the Circuit of America. Hopefully that will definitely bring up some great racing, but for us and the rest of the broadcast team that does the cameras, like Sam Jones and John Eric Sachin for doing that fantastic track conversion, and Sam for doing the cameras, who does a fantastic job, while Jaakko Mikkonen, the usual cameraman, who does the broadcast, isn't here. So, but anyway, thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see you for round 12 of the Formula Sim Racing 2014 season at the Circuit of America. Goodbye.